So I just got back from a 9-hour shift at work, so I kind of look a little gross. But I went to the library today and I thought I would make a video about books. This will probably bore about 90% of you guys, but I really like books and I know a few people asked me to do a little book video, so here it goes. Planning on doing one of these maybe like every month or so, just because I read so many books and I want to share how awesome they are with you. Since I never have done one of these before, I have a lot of books right here in this pile that you can't see, but they're here. So it might be a little lengthier, but the future ones will probably be shorter. Let's just get this started. First book I'm going to talk to you about is probably my favorite series of books. It's called the Gone series by Michael Grant. Gone is the first one, and I don't have that one. The next one is Hunger, which is this one, kind of thick. The next one is Lies, this one right here. And then the newest one is Plague. I think it's the newest one. I think it's this one. The next one after Plague is called Fear, and I don't have that one either. I checked it out from the library. But I have the second, third, and fourth book, which is kind of weird. Second, third, fourth. They're pretty thick, 500, 600 pages, but they are amazing books. The first book is Gone, and what happens is there's this town in California called Perdido Beach, and one day, just one random day, every adult over the age of 16, I want to say 16 or 15, 16 or 15, something like that. Every person over the age of 15, 16 just disappears, vanishes. And so it's basically a town of like kids, and obviously that's not gonna fly very well. There's chaos. The twist is some kids start to develop superpowers, like there's this girl, the Breeze, who can run super fast. Sam, the main character, can shoot like laser light burning through everything out of his hands. It's really good, but it's kind of a classic good versus evil type of thing here. It's not like it's the whole world that's affected by this. It seems to be like this invisible dome that's placed around Perdido Beach. It's like kind of you can see it and you can see through it, but like you can't see very well through it, and if you touch it you get like electrified. So they don't really know if their parents are alive and like on the other side of the dome. I mean, I know if they are not because you find out in the 5th book, but I'm not going to tell you guys. They don't really know how the dome was formed, but as you read on in the series, you kind of start to figure it out. It's just really good. It's really, really exciting. One thing that I like is it switches perspectives every chapter, so you'll get a new perspective from a different character every chapter. The last book that's coming out is called Light. First page of the book, there's a little map, so if you can see, that's kind of like the radius of the phase. They call it the Fallout Alley Youth Zone. They call it that because it's like all youth people, so I would recommend it to anybody, even if you really like girly books, because there's kind of like a romance thing in here. That kid's pretty good looking. Next is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. This book is ridiculously long. It is 594 pages, but the font's really tiny and really long pages. It's a really good book. It's interesting. It's like in the future. There's this alien race that they're like invisible little slivers. They're kind of like bacteria, I guess, like, but they have a really advanced mind. And what they do is they just kind of like go around and inhabit a planet, the life forms on this planet, and then like destroy the planet. So right now these life forms are inhabiting Earth, but since Earth, like, humans are really intelligent, they fight back kind of. There's like a resistance against them. The story is about Melanie, who is like a human that was inhabited by like a soul type thing. I forget what they're called in the book. And then the alien, when they go inside a human, they're supposed to like totally control it. And then in Melanie, the alien can still hear Melanie's thoughts. So it's kind of like two people in one body type of thing. And the alien kind of turns good, and she is an alien and the humans know that, but they like let her into their resistance. It's a little boring at some parts, but other parts is really, really good. One thing I don't like about this book is it ends at a cliffhanger. I hate when that happens because I hate waiting for new books to come out. But I also heard they're making a movie out of this, but I would definitely recommend to read the book because I thought the book was really, really good. It's a great action book. It also has a lot of romance in it. And yeah, I thought it was really good. The next book I'm going to speak about I do not have because I checked it out from the library, but it's called The Devil's Teeth by Susan Casey. And this was like the most amazing book ever. My favorite animal in the whole wide world are sharks. So Devil's Teeth is about great white sharks. It's about this island off the coast of California, like 20 miles out from San Francisco. It's called the Farallones Islands. And basically, it's one of like the most inhabited island of great white sharks. They migrate there every winter, I believe, for like 3 months, and there's tons of them, and there's some of the biggest sharks in the world. They're like 21 feet. It's told from the perspective of a reporter from Time magazine who like loves sharks, and she really wanted to go there. Regular citizens aren't allowed on the island just because it's so dangerous to get there. The islands themselves are dangerous. There's like only 2 houses on the island at all. In like the 1800s, there were like eggers and hunters, and like they almost extincted all the animals on the island, so they no longer allow like citizens out there. It is a marine sanctuary. It's really interesting to read about all of the great white sharks. It's also a really well written book, and it's like really exciting because it's not just about sharks, it's about her whole adventure getting there and staying there and what happens at the end. It's really good. I really liked it, and I recommend it if you like sharks. Next book is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. The book is really interesting because it's actually based off like a set of real pictures. Like here's some cool ones. Like see, they're like really creepy. Not all of them are this creepy, but some of them are, and it's actually based off of these pictures. Like they all tie into the story. Basically, it's about this boy Jacob who has heard stories about this island where there's all these like special children with like superpowers and stuff, and he doesn't believe it, and it's from his grandfather. And then when his grandfather dies, he goes to the island and he actually finds the children and discovers all their secrets and stories and about his grandfather, and it's really, really cool. It's a really well written book. The author is Ransom Briggs, and it's actually his first book that he's ever written, and I really like his writing style. It's really, really good. But it's cool. It's just like a superhero book. I really enjoyed it a lot, actually. Again, it ended at a cliffhanger, and he's writing a second book to it. Not out yet, which kind of sucks. But I really liked that book. It was really good. So those are like all the books that I have like in my room at the moment. Well, obviously The Hunger Games is really good. If you haven't read those and you saw the movie, you can't even call yourself a Hunger Games fan because the books are 10 bajillion times better. Like, I promise you, they're so good. But I did not like the last book because I was so pissed off at the ending. I don't know what that was. But other than that, they're amazing books. These 2 books are what I got from the library today. Hide by Lisa Gardner and The Secret Life of Sharks by Peter Climley. There is a Pete character in The Devil's Teeth. He was like a scientist at the Farallones Islands. I don't know if he's the same one. I didn't have time to look it up yet, but I'm going to because I suspect he might be the same one. But again, this is about sharks. It's not just about great white sharks, so it's about all these types of sharks. It's more about behavior of sharks. This book is Hide by Lisa Gardner. She is a murder mystery writer, and my mom tells me she's really good, so I thought I'd try this book out. It is about a detective that was once on this case that he almost got killed on, and he thought that the man who committed all the crimes he was after died. But then it says, in an underground chamber on the grounds of an abandoned Massachusetts mental hospital, the gruesome discovery of 6 mummified corpses resurrects his worst nightmare, the return of a killer he thought dead and buried. So that's that. And I'm assuming it's going to be a 2-perspective book because then it says, Annabelle Granger has been in hiding for as long as she can remember. Her childhood was a blur of new cities and assumed identities, but what or who her family was running from, she never knew. Now a body is unearthed from a grave wearing a necklace bearing Annabelle's name, and the danger is too close to escape. This time she's not going to run. I thought it sounded really good. I'm really excited to read it. Hopefully I'll be able to read these two in 2 weeks and get back to you about how they are. If you read a lot of books like me, I try to read at least every day. I would highly recommend going to the library. Getting books, although I love having books like in my room, or when I get older I want to have like just a giant bookshelf. They're expensive. Really great way to save some money, save some paper, save the world. That is my little spiel about books. Hopefully I'm gonna have another one of these up soon. If you guys like them, please let me know. If not, I'm probably gonna post them anyways because I like to talk about books. Also, leave me some requests for some videos. That would be awesome. I'm thinking about doing a Q&A, so if you want to leave some comments and questions, and I'll answer them in the near future. Like this video if you're upset about the lockout. So sad. All I want to do is just wear my Tyler Seguin jersey like every day. But alas, I can't. Well, I still will, but it'll be kind of dumb because he's not playing in the US. He's playing in Russia. I hope you guys have a good day, fine Saturday, good weekend, whatever. For those of you in school, have fun at school. I hate school. Yay, senior year. Hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Peace out.